You ever look at something, say a light fixture, and just wonder what makes it feel so luxurious? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to break down the appeal of a modern marble chandelier. We'll get into the materials, the design, and even the marketing that turns it from just a thing that gives off light into something people really, truly desire. Okay, so to really get why this chandelier is a big deal, we have to start with the problem it's supposed to fix. And the source material for this whole thing really taps into a frustration I think a lot of us have felt, that hunt for the perfect lighting. It's surprisingly hard, right? And it's about so much more than just, being able to see in a room. And this is really the emotional core of it all. The question isn't just about, does it work? It's about, does it feel like me? The whole idea here is that we aren't just shopping for a light bulb in a fancy case, we're looking for something that reflects our own personal style. And a lot of the time, what's out there just doesn't cut it. So really, this whole thing is framed as a hunt for a true centerpiece for your room. The core argument is that way too often, we're forced to make a choice, a compromise. You either get something that works well or you get something that looks good. Finding that perfect piece that's both timeless and luxurious, but also fits a modern home, that's the real challenge. All right, so now that we've set up the problem, the source material pivots right into the solution. And pay attention to how they frame this. It's not just a product. It's presented as a jewel for your home, a very direct answer to that search for something truly special. The main pitch here is all about elevation. The message is super clear. This thing is not just about lighting up a room. No, the goal is to totally transform the experience of being in that space. It's about turning a regular room into a real statement. And that phrase, the crowning jewel, that is so deliberate. That's the kind of language you use when you want to position something as the final, absolutely essential piece that just pulls an entire room together. We're talking about something that's not just an accessory, it's the centerpiece, the thing that screams good taste and sophistication. So, what's the first big pillar holding up this whole idea? It's all about the material. The fact that this is made of marble is no accident. It's totally central to the story this chandelier is trying to tell. And we're talking about a specific type, Spanish marble. Now, the source points out a really cool detail here. This isn't just a static chunk of rock. The claim is that it actually interacts with the light. So all those beautiful veins and that, quote, natural luminosity, that's not just for show. It's meant to create this unique, soft, warm glow that you just can't get from plain old glass or metal. And this leads us to maybe the most powerful promise in all of luxury marketing, uniqueness. Because it's a natural material, they can guarantee that no two chandeliers are ever exactly the same. So the whole story changes, right? You're not just buying a mass-produced light fixture anymore. You're getting a one-of-a-kind piece of art for your home. Okay, but a fancy material on its own isn't going to cut it. The next piece of the puzzle is the design itself, which is all about bridging that gap between looking incredible and actually being practical for a modern home. Now, what I think is really smart here is how the design has this kind of dual identity. On one hand, you've got these sleek, contemporary lines, a very modern shape. But on the other hand, the material itself, that classic, luxurious marble, gives it a totally timeless feel. And what that means is it can pretty much fit in anywhere, from a super minimalist space to a really grand, opulent room. And it's that split personality, that blend of modern and classic, that lets them claim it's so versatile. The whole argument is that this isn't some niche piece that only works in one specific type of room. Nope, it's designed to be a flexible design tool, something that can connect different spaces throughout your house. So, for example, you could have the exact same piece hanging as this elegant centerpiece in your dining room, or creating a warm, cozy vibe in your living room, or adding a little bit of romance to a bedroom. It could even be the super stylish accent over a kitchen table. The main claim here is that the light fixture itself almost changes its personality to fit the room it's in. So beyond just how it looks, the source makes a big deal about a really practical feature that solves a huge headache for a lot of people. You can adjust the height. And this is framed as giving you, the owner, total control over how it looks and feels in your space. And this one feature, this height adjustability, means you don't have to compromise. You can hang it at the perfect height for your ceilings, you can make sure it's balanced with the furniture underneath it, you can totally dial in the mood you're going for. It basically takes all the guesswork and frustration out of installing a big light fixture. Okay, so let's pull all these different threads together and look at the final sales pitch. And again, notice the very specific language they use. This isn't being framed as just buying something. It's framed as an investment in the whole experience of living in your home. And this table breaks down that investment idea really clearly. The investment in genuine marble gives you a return of a unique piece of art. The investment in the design gives you timeless style. The investment in adjustability gives you perfect placement and mood control. And the grand total? The ultimate return on your investment is a home that feels elevated and a daily life that just feels richer. And all of this leads to the final, ultimate promise. The goal isn't just to decorate a room. The claim is that a single object like this can actually transform your everyday space into a sanctuary, a place that feels deeply personal and intentionally special. So we'll just leave you with this final thought. When you break it all down, the story behind the material, the psychology of the design, the practical features, you really start to see the blueprint. You see how a single object can be carefully crafted, not just to change how a room looks, but to completely change how it feels to be in.